Have you been working hard?
Yes.
Well, yes, you have.
Well, yes, I have.
Yes, you have. Been helping me sling wire and stuff.
Electricity. I don't know why anybody would do that for a living. I'm just saying. I have lots of relatives that do that for a
Yeah,
living.
we have lots of relatives that do electricity, and we have plumbers in our family, and fortunately, I have those to ask for advice. And at one time or another, I've either helped them on jobs or worked for them at one time or another throughout my working career. So that helps a lot when it comes to what we're doing here. But anyway, we've been working on the electrical rough-in.
You don't have your headlamp on?
I don't have my headlamp on?
No, it's on.
Yeah. I thought I had it on. I got the other light on, don't I?
Yeah, I'm blind.
You're blind? Okay. Well, it's a cloudy day today, folks, and it's been running like this here lately. I don't know what the deal is. But anyway, let's walk up here and start with the panel up here. Let me make sure. Been having trouble with my camera cutting off and then starting back up again, and I don't know why. I was double checking things. Okay, we'll start off here with the panel. And first, of course, you know, this wire right here, the fat one, that is what's coming in from the 50 amp inlet from the outside of the trailer. And it goes down and there's a 50 amp inlet on the front of the trailer. We went with 50 amp service, if you remember from a previous video. This green wire that you see right here, this green wire goes down and attaches to the chassis on down. But it comes up here and goes in here, and it comes over here and connects to the ground bar over here. And that way we've got the panel grounded to the chassis here of the trailer, and that's what everybody told me I needed to do. So when you've got to keep all your ground wires separate from your neutral wires. We discussed all that in a previous video from a while back. And anyway, that's the way we've got that set up. So altogether, we have 8 circuits available to us in this panel. Actually, if you use a special type of breaker, you can go clear up to 16 circuits on this panel. But we opted to we're going with 7 circuits. And some of my friends and relatives who are in the biz told me that this was overkill, but I just wanted to be on the safe side. I always, whenever I'm plugged into 50 amp service somewhere, I want to make sure I've got plenty of power to run everything. So first, let me talk about the wiring that we used. This is what you call SO cable. It's 12-3 stranded wire. All of these are stranded, and it's kind of like drop cord cable is what it is if you were going to use a drop cord. But it's all number 12 and all stranded everywhere. And this is what we ended up using. We bought the wire at Amazon, our first batch. We bought 100 feet of wire, and I believe it was $100. It was $1 a foot for 100 feet. Now, when I said we need to figure 100 feet, I thought that 100 feet would be more than enough to wire this trailer. Now, Deb, on the other hand, argued with me. And she said, no, it's going to take more than that. She had done some figuring. So to give kudos to her, let's talk about this for a minute first before we move on. So, you said that we needed about 180 to 200 feet from your figures.
Yes, going off of the plans and where I was wanting electricity, I did the math and came up with 180, 200, somewhere like that.
Okay, and I said,
no way, Deb, it's not going to take that much.
And
how much did it end up taking?
Well, so far we've purchased 185 feet.
And we
need to buy probably another 15 feet for little odds and end things here and there.
So, point for Deb.
Just one. Just 1 point. But anyway,
1 point for Deb.
I thought I better get that out of the way right quick right now. She was right.
Not always wrong.
Not. Anyway, she got that one right. So let's go back over here and let's talk about this some more now. Okay. So what we ended up with is a total of 7 circuits, and we're going to run through them here right quick. First, you see this one here. It says vanity, of course. Now it comes along here, and we've got these wires strung up here, and this comes from what is going to be the vanity. We're going to have a plug-in after we build our cabinet in here. We're going to have a plug-in here. Now in this vanity, where we put this plug-in here, the receptacle, once we build our cabinet here, this will be a GFCI plug. So it'll come down and feed the GFCI from this side. Then we'll grab on the other side. It'll be the first one in the chain, and it will go along over here. It's part of one of these 4 sets of wires you see here, and come on down. And first, it's going to feed that plug-in, which will feed the washing machine when we slide the washing machine over here to do laundry, because this is where our water outlet is for the washing machine, right next to the shower, and we can run the drain into the shower. Then we will pick up from it there, come back over. You see that box right down there, which is right over here. You see it right there. That particular box is going to power a little subwoofer that we're going to have sitting down here by this side of the bed. We'll have a sound bar below the TV and then a little subwoofer over here on the side. And then this is where we got to get some more wire. Then we'll be running a jumper from the back of that box over to catch this receptacle right there. You see the back side of it. That is the outside receptacle. So those particular outlets will all be on that one GFCI plug. Anyway, we're not going to be running them all at the same time, of course, all the time, so that'll be just fine. Now, all these wires that you see here running along this wall right here, we'll be building a tower right here that'll have a series of shelves up here, a series of shelves, and then there'll be a false panel at the back which covers these wires right here. If I ever need to get to them, all I gotta do is empty the shelves, pull the panel off, and there it is. But anyway, that's the way that will be. The subwoofer will be right on the very bottom, then we'll have a shelf, and then we'll have another shelf above that. Then above that, we will have I'm gonna cut a cubby hole through right here, and then build me a little box on the back side, and this will be my little cubby hole on my side of the bed right here. This is the head of the bed right here. And on the other side of it will be, and which will be part of our next video, but how we run our 12-volt stuff. And this is where all the controls, the cutoff switch, the fuse box, and everything will be for the 12-volt system that will be fed from the charger down there into the battery, and from the battery up here to the nerve center right here is where that will be. And we'll talk about the 12-volt system in another video, but I just thought I'd go over that with you right quick, what we're doing there. Now let's go back over here again. I'm trying to hurry on this. Of course, this one right here comes down like this and goes on down, and it will feed the electric hot water tank right down there. That's pretty straightforward, and it's on a circuit completely by itself. This one here is going to feed the charger, the converter slash charger. It too runs along here, as you can see, and comes down and drops down over there. And the charger is, the converter charger is going to be mounted about where the battery is sitting right now. The battery will be moved up into right in here, but the converter charger will be mounted right in there, and that particular cable will power the charger, and it too will be on a circuit all by itself. All right, let's get back over here again. Okay, we talked about the hot water tank, talked about the vanity, talked about the charger. Now, this one and this one, these are two separate circuits here. One says Bill bar, one says Deb bar. Both of these circuits, and they're all by themselves, run back to the bar. So let's walk over here and let's go to the bar. And going to the bar we go. All right, those two circuits will end up right here where the bar is. Now the reason, and they're standalone all by themselves. One receptacle is one circuit, the other receptacle is another circuit. And the main reason why we have these all by themselves on their own circuit is that there might be times when Deb's running a crock, or me, doing a crock pot and a griddle at the same time. Well, we don't want both of them on the same circuit, you know, drawing the circuit down. So we just, and we had the wire, we had the circuits available, we've got the 50 amp service coming in when we're plugged into 50 amp. So we have the power available, so we might as well divide it up, you know, so the best we can. So that's why we're doing that. Now those wires, if you can see, they come along right down there, and then they come down here. I can't get down there, but hopefully you can see what I'm showing you. And then they come through the cabinet, and they will come up that back wall and then come right up into these boxes right here. So that's how we did that. Now, on this side over here, we had two sets of wires coming off the panel. I'm not going to walk back up there, but two sets of wires coming off of the panel on the other side, and they are coming down. You can see them coming down the wall right there, coming across back here. You can see this one coming down right here, and I've already got the wire stubbed through a box right here, and this will be a plug in here at the kitchen sink. Now, what we're also going to mount in here, which will tie into this circuit as well, is a surface mount plug-in, you know, probably just below it, right down here, and that's where the refrigerator will plug in, and it will tie in probably just right below it, and there'll be a little surface mount plug-in right down here is where we'll have that. Now the other wire, oh, and one more thing about this is, you see those two wires stubbed down right there? Those are that same circuit. First it drops down and it's going to catch a receptacle that'll be mounted in that wall cavity right there, and that will feed the TV. And then we'll tie back into that and come back up to come on over and catch this, and then the surface mount refrigerator plug that will go below it right there. Okay, now this wire is the standalone air conditioner feed right here, and it's going to be on a circuit naturally all by itself. The air conditioner will eventually be mounted right here in this spot right here. What I will be doing is building a drop down chase right here where this wire will feed right up and be hidden inside that drop down chase and come down. I've got to build this down a little bit anyway and build it out to accommodate the piece that mounts in here on the inside of the overhead unit. So that's how that will work. So anyway, that's how all of the electric is run, and we've basically been working on just the rough end right now and got that all done. We're going to go ahead and we got to buy a couple more boxes. We've got to get a little bit more wire to run a few jumpers onto some other plug-ins that we're catching, but pretty much the rough end is pretty much done. All that's involved now is just you know, getting the breakers and getting them mounted into the panel and getting everything all hooked up, and then we'll be able to have some electricity in here. So anyway, now keep in mind, on a 50 amp service, keep in mind that on a 50 amp service you have two hot legs at 50 amps each. So just remember that on a 50 amp service you have two hot legs at 50 amps each. So technically speaking, you have 100 amps available to you. That's the main difference between a 50 amp service and a 30 amp service. A 30 amp service, you have one hot leg at 30 amps, and then of course you have your negative and your ground wire, and that's it. You've got 30 amps available, period. But on a 50 amp service, technically speaking, you have 100 amps available to you. So this is why we decided to go this way, because after all, we are total electric in this trailer. And 99.99% of the time, we're going to be plugged in somewhere. We're going to be plugged in at a Corps of Engineer campground, a national park, or someplace like that, and the occasional regular RV style park that will accept our trailer. So anyway, that's something to keep in mind. There's a little bit of difference between a 50 amp, and a lot of you already know that anyway. And I hope I'm not scaring you with my headlamp on and no hat and my bald hair. And,
You are kind of scary. You didn't shave.
and I didn't shave. It's a whole lot nicer looking at you than me.
I doubt it.
Anyway, all right. Well, we're going to shut this thing down right now. We just wanted to run through that right quick and show you what we're doing. Anyway, we'll be catching you again here before long. I have a few obligations to take care of this coming week, but then the following week, which is the last 2 weeks of the month of September, I'm taking the entire 2 weeks off from my other obligations, and we're going to be concentrating on the trailer to get it done, because we have to start staying in it around October 1st, because we need to make sure we have all the bugs ironed out of it before we take off on our adventure, which will be sometime in November. So this is crunch time, folks. But really and truthfully, we're doing pretty good. I think we're going to make it okay. There's a few things I still have to figure out as we go, but we're getting there. So anyway, right now we're going to sign off. This is Bill and Deb with I Ride Tiny House Adventures saying
Goodbye.
bye-bye. We'll see y'all later. Take care.